I suppose that the time when I thought that, rather than say the selector had made it or anything like that, I felt that two-tone had made it, for want of a better word, was when our record company, Chrysalis, was just off Oxford Street in Stratford Place. And I remember coming out of there and walking down Oxford Street, and pretty much every single window had a black and white display, even the Ladies Evans outsize shop, which was pretty radical. So yes, I thought, that seems to be a defining moment.
I think we've just made it now, after 26 years. This tour this year, I just think we all the other time, we have never... You only make it when you, to me, is when you have second and third generations coming to your gigs, you know? You've made it. I think all this time we've only just made it now. So for everyone there who looked at, or budding pop star, wanted to be pop stars, or it took us 30 years to make it. This is a real Spinal Tap job, you know? 30 years we made it, you know?
Well, because we were on a major label, you start getting an actual sort of wage, I suppose, a week. And just remember I was living in this kind of slum, really, in Eccleston. Sort of rented kind of house, and suddenly like limos are like turning up to take us to the airport and stuff. Is a bit like, look, we've won the pools, but we're like still living in our little terraced slum, you know, is that kind of effect. But
I always used to say to people, one day someone's going to be playing that doldrum, on top of the pops, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of like the day it happened, it was amazing. And yeah, I mean, we did Top of the Pops here in UK and like many countries. There's MTV, Mobos, world music with, chilling with Prince Albert of Monaco, that was just nothing.
It's a strange thing. You sit at home and watch the TV and see the Beatles, and you think, I'd like to be there. But when you're there, it's not as you imagine it. Nothing like it. In '69, we met Desmond Dekker because he was on Pyramid Records with us, and he just had a #1 with the Israelites. And I remember he said, I said, what's it like at #1? And he said, I still sleep in the same bed, I still eat the same food, And I think, Christ, it wouldn't even sink in then, but that's exactly what it is. You're not elated at the top of the tree. The chances are you'll go out and you'll think you're back to your own self and you're going to Woolworths or something and everybody's pointing at you. And you think, oh, God, I didn't expect this. I'm only supposed to be recognised when I'm out in my best clothes at night, but it isn't. And there's all sorts of pressures. There's always the phone going, somebody wants this, somebody wants that. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do... And you just can't soak it all up.
People sometimes ask me about what you call success. What I believe is success. One of the things I didn't look at saying I have £1 million was success, making it out of show business. My success that I wanted is that everybody around should know Ray King Soul Band, and whoever I played with must remember that I played with them and how good I am. And that is the thing that I achieved, and that made me happy, because I played with Otis Redding, I played with Marvin Gaye, and I played with the Supremes, I played with all these people, Solomon Burke, but they all remember.
When you're starting out, it's kind of flattering that people want to talk to you, but it's not so fun when you realise that you're a thing, and that's what you usually become, a product. And I found that when I went to Cannes Film Festival, there's zillions of photographers there, and there's zillions of starlets, who take their bikini tops off and show their tits so that they can hope to get, some publicity for their film or whatever. And I'd just gone there with pretendy, kind of dreadlocky things. I had this strange hairstyle that I'd made up, and they told me in the film, don't change your hair. And when you're young, well, actually all the time for me, if you stay the same, it's boring. So I'd got really bored with my hairstyle from the film, and I thought, I've got to change that. And I'd had this wacky idea of and I looked like a kind of a white mop head. And when I got to the airport, I remember the producer coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Hazel, ew, what have you done to your hair? And I said, I just wanted to change. He said, ew. But when we got to Cannes, it was a roaring success because I looked so bloody weird that everybody wanted to take my photo. So if there was a choice between tits on the beach or Hazel O Connor's weird white mop head and pale skin, you know, I got the vote. And you'd walk down the Croisette and there'd be like 60, 70 and all go... And then when you get to the other end, I heard somebody say, who is she anyway? And that's about how it is.